everybody! So I'm going to be doing my February favorites today, and while I'm still late, I'm ahead of schedule of last month, so getting better, getting in the routine. And I'm planning on doing a video right after this one. I'll probably even be wearing the same clothes just because I have a little bit of time right now, about my move and kind of how I'm preparing for it and some other things like that. So my first favorite is by far some of the messages I've been receiving on Facebook and Twitter and through my email and just kind of things like that from you guys that have been so amazing to me, and just really a couple of them almost brought me to tears. They were so amazing and so sweet, and you guys are definitely my very first February favorite because just the messages have been awesome, and I don't really want to give away too much information about what they were because most of them have been fairly private, but they really did make me feel like what I'm doing, even if I haven't been very consistent with it lately and haven't had a lot of time for it, is definitely worth it, especially my video on changes in my decision to go to school from last year. It was very hard for me to do that video. I almost didn't do it several times. I was an emotional wreck after I did it just because it's broadcasting personal insecurities and personal issues I've had my whole life with the whole world, and anybody can see it. And I've gotten so much feedback lately on that video about how much it's helped people and how great it's been for others, and how they have a lot of the same problems, or they had a lot of the same insecurities, or they've had a lot of the same, doubts about going to school, or issues with making the decision to go to school, or all kinds of different things. But it really made me think of how worth it was going through that and doing that. And I do think I'm going to do a couple more videos like that or similar to that regarding personal issues and mental health and just stuff like that. And I'm sorry I'm not being very eloquent right now, but you get my point. It's very late and I've had a very long day and I'm not feeling horribly well. And today is day 2 on not smoking, and it's kind of killing me, but we're moving on. So moving on to favorites. Favorite music of the month has definitely been my Hymn Love Metal CD. I listened to this like crazy a few years ago, and then I kind of put it away and haven't really listened to it for a few years, and I've been having this in my car almost non-stop all month, so definitely loving that. And Yumi's over there trying to get fed dinner, but he's just going to have to wait a minute. So anyway, now on to makeup favorites, and I do have a decent amount but not a crazy amount. Number one thing that I've been really loving is just kind of this basic eye makeup look. I've been under crazy time restraints lately, so I really like having this kind of 2 to 3 color, some eyeliner, bright lips, out the door, finished, very easy look. And what I really like about it is you can vary the colors and change the intensity. When I do a little bit darker brown on this outer corner, or even maybe a navy or a blue, or even purple. I've done purple before, but the same basic concept. It really changes the whole look, and it can get out the door really quickly. So I really like that. Another thing, I keep saying sorry. Another thing that I've been really liking is paler nude lips. I have a whole bunch here. I've never been much of a nude lip person, so I don't know where it came from, although I never used to wear brow and eyeshadow either, so things are changing. So a couple of them. This one I've been wearing on and off. I really like it, but I think it's going to be better once it actually decides to be spring here and stop snowing. But it's called Peachy Scene. It's from Maybelline, and it's just a really pretty kind of pale peach. It's not this intense when you put it on, especially when it blends with my natural lip color, and I keep looking in the viewfinder, sorry. But it's really pretty on. One that I just recently got is number 101 from the Matte Rimmel Kate lipsticks, and this one is it's very similar to another one I'm going to show you, but it's a touch deeper. Let me see if I can get a bigger swatch of that so you can kind of see it a little bit better. It's just a touch, kind of like a neutrally pink, but more on the light side of a neutrally pink. I really like it. And then Primrose, I know I've talked about before, and it's just a very, very light pink. So, and it has a very slight purple undertone to it. It's very, very slight, but these two are kind of similar. The Kate one is just a touch more brown and a touch more deep. And then Make Me Pink by Maybelline. I know I've discussed this like hundreds of times. This is probably my all-time favorite nude, just because it has enough pink to it, but enough nude to it that it's very easy to pull off. So these three are very similar. They're all just a bit different, and I would wear them with different things. Make Me Pink I wear with pretty much everything, to be quite honest. I really like it. It's bright enough that it goes with neutral eyes, but it's light enough that it goes with more smoky eyes. Sorry, there's the brain not working again. The Revlon Primrose I pretty much wear with darker colors or when I have more intense eyeliner on. And the 101 Rimmel one I really like with more like purple tones or blue tones on my eyes, whether they're smoky or more neutral. And then I also have the Revlon Just Bit and Kissable Lip Stain. These are by far my favorite of these kind of concepts of any of the lip stains, lip butters, any of those, the crayons, pretty much that whole genre. These do, while they are incredibly creamy and stuff, do last, and they do put a stain on your lips. So there's this one. There's a little bit better representation of it, and I absolutely love this. And this lighter portion of the swatch right up here is about what you'll be left with on your lips after a few hours. But they're so easy. I like them so much better than the low markers and stuff. And they have this like minty tingle. It's not overpowering, but it's not like a sweet mint either. I don't know, I really like it. And I'm actually wearing this one in, oh, what was the name of this? Cherish Devonation is this one. And I'm wearing Smitten, which this is probably one of the best ones that I use the most. And I'm wearing this one right now, and it's kind of like a reddish pink type color. I don't know. And it kind of melts down after it's been on your mouth for a while to kind of like a pinkish berry tone, at least on my lips. So I'm rambling, sorry, but I really, really, really like those, and I like them better than the lip butters. I like them better than the Whispers. I like them better than the little glossy ones. I pretty much like them better than any of them. Next, I know I've talked about this blush to death and you can't get it anymore, so I always hate bringing it up, but they do have a similar color out right now that's kind of a purplish tone of this. It's more like a lilac tone of it, but it's very similar, and I think it's called Wild Orchid. But this is my Pressworthy Pink from Maybelline blush, and I know I've talked about this to death. It does have a lot of shimmer when you swatch it, but I don't feel like any shimmer comes across on my face, so you can see that I have shimmer. I think it does give a nice glow. Obviously I have a crap ton of highlighter on too, but I love the way it looks on my skin, and I will always reach for this, and I still to this day kick myself for not buying backups of it. Alright, on to face products. So, small, I guess, disclaimer. First of all, I wanted to talk about some of the Laura Mercier foundations. I have two of them that I really like. I do work for Laura Mercier. These are little sample things. I do not get products, these products for free. I do occasionally get products for free from them, and I don't get like the super deep discount or anything for them, so I don't want you to think that. I do have the option of kind of putting in a request for something, and if they happen to have it, then I can get it, but that is not the case with these foundations. And if I were to purchase them, I would have to purchase them on my own money with no discount, and I would not get them for free. But I do work for the company, so I just want to kind of put that out there. I don't want people to think that that's the only reason that I'm saying these are favorites of mine though, because I do try a lot of their products on a very regular basis. Obviously, I'm a freelance artist for them, that is my job, but I would not have necessarily tried these foundations on my own accord had I not been given samples to go ahead and try. I do absolutely love them 100% though. It has nothing to do with working for the company, and I love a technique with them that I've always blogged, videoed, and stated very publicly that I hate, and that is applying foundation with your hands, with your fingers. I think I've never liked it. I've always gotten very streaky finishes with it, and I've always hated it, but I love it with these two. Don't ask me why. So first of all, we'll just do this one, is the Silk Cream Foundation, and people have talked about this and talked about this and talked about it, so I'm not going to ramble on about it, but it's kind of like has this whipped texture to it. It's not whipped, it just kind of has that feeling. It's almost like kind of a moussey, creamy tinted moisturizer is kind of the feeling I get from it personally. It does have really good coverage to it, so there is very, very little on me, and it just goes and goes and goes and goes. So you can use very, very little of this and get a lot of pigmentation, and I still am rubbing out edges. So it does have really high coverage, and I was really surprised at that because of how light it is and how little you need to use. I figured it would be next to no coverage, but this stuff, just a few dots of it will cover your whole face and will cover you flawlessly. It's amazing. But a lot of people really like it, and that's kind of a Laura Mercier staple. The one that I had never even heard of before I started working for them, and I have absolutely fallen in love with, despite the fact that it is probably completely wrong for me, is the Silk Cream Foundation. Now this has almost, and once again I say almost, a gel type consistency. I don't know if you can see that, but it is very, very creamy. I absolutely love this stuff. I've hardly used any of it up in this little sample, and I've been using it almost daily. That just tells you how far it goes. So a little tiny bit, and so yeah, I mean, it just goes and goes and goes and goes and goes. So I covered from here down to about here with that little tiny bit. And the reason I say it's probably all wrong for me is because it is very hydrating foundation, and I do have very, very oily skin, but I don't find it to be that much of a problem. When it goes on my skin, I don't find it separating at all. It goes on beautifully. I can blend it in beautifully without getting weird patches from too much hydration. But I do feel that I need to powder slightly more often than I normally would, but not by much, and it doesn't start getting cakey. So I still 100% would go for this, and the jug that it comes in, well, not jug, but the container it comes in is like that big around and like about that tall. So that thing would last you forever. And seriously, I just kind of put a couple drops on my fingers, go here, and then just blend it out, and it looks flawless, and it saves me so much time because I have to use so little product. I don't have to go back over areas rarely, and I don't have to use my brush and stipple it on and then buff it in and then, you know, kind of pat over it with a sponge to make sure there's no streaks, and it goes on smoothly. So I do put my own foot in my mouth and say I was 100% wrong about applying foundation with your fingers. It really depends on the foundation, and it works with these ones. So moving on, no more rambling. Something I've wanted to try for a really long time, and I finally just got, is the Revlon Photo Ready Concealer. I've heard people talk about this forever, and I had a big thing of concealer left, and I don't use concealer a lot except for under my eyes, so I didn't feel the need to invest it, and I finally used that other one up to the point I was happy throwing it away and got this, just because I wasn't happy with it. This is so creamy and so pigmented. I basically just put like a dot around my nose, like 1, 2, 1, 2, and it covers any redness left here at all. It is so amazing. So that's kind of a really bad place to put it, but it just, like, I barely touched it and it blended away, but there's still a lot of coverage there. So awesome, 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 awesome. I 100% suggest it. I do know it's around the $10 mark. I don't remember exactly, either slightly above or slightly under. 100% worth it because you will not go through it fast. Okay, so definitely go out and get it. Last thing, like I said, I've been liking powder foundations, and I had ran out of the one that I was using, so I did try this one. The lightest that they had from the Milani one that I could find was 02 light medium. I could not find a light. I don't find that this is too dark for me. It does give me a little bit more of a tanny kind of look as I look at myself in the viewfinder and check, but it's the consistency of it is amazing. Let me find a clean finger. It feels like silk on your skin, and I'm not even exaggerating. So it goes on so creamy soft, and it makes your face feel so amazing. Absolutely adore it. So 100% suggest this. Okay, so my camera cut me off. Anyway, like I was saying, I would really suggest this. If you're really fair like me, the light medium does work if you can't find the light. It's not going to change that much. And sorry, my camera keeps cutting me off. It doesn't like me filming past like 16 minutes. I don't know, it's really weird. But I also ramble a lot. Alright, so that is everything, and like I said, I'm going to go ahead and film that other video real fast. I don't know how long before these are up. It kind of just depends on when I have time to edit them. Hopefully it won't be too long, and hopefully you guys are all having a great March. It has snowed like crazy here, so I'm really looking forward to March being over, and I will chat with you guys soon. Have a great night. Bye.